Hello, everybody.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Hi, guys. So last episode was pretty long.
Very long.
I'm not sure if it's going to be like that today. Might be a short one.
It will
Not short one, but it'll be kind of like the normal.
It will definitely be like significantly shorter.
Yeah.
It's not testimony time today.
No. We actually gave you a lot of detail, to be honest. I'm like, maybe a little bit too much. But, you know.
What? Overcome by the word of our testimony.
So, yeah.
There we go.
So it is what it
There we
is.
go.
And this is the thing, sometimes the way, because I think that there's so many things that the enemy tries to use to kind of deter you from sharing, because sometimes when you feel like if I share this or if I overshare this, people are going to maybe get an opinion of me in certain ways and or whatever. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's just a tool that the enemy uses, and it's like, you know what, it is what it is.
Also, we're going to feel vulnerable, but God protects us, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and ultimately, if you guys were blessed by the testimony,
Then that's all that
that's
matters.
all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Encouraged, hopefully revitalized, like, woo! Make you feel like, yeah, I can do this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
but
man.
today we are actually going to talk about some books. Obviously, everything... I feel like this has to be a disclaimer, because I feel like whenever I've heard people talk about certain books or certain pastors or whatever, it feels like they're glorifying the pastors or it feels like they're glorifying the books or whatever.
There's lots of pastor idolatry.
Yeah, and I want there to be a note that all roads lead to Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Everything always has to point back to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we're talking and speaking about something, it always has to kind of go and lead back to Jesus. So if we're talking about something, it's not that we're glorifying that person, or it's not that we're perhaps living in a certain level of fear, because at the end of the day, the Lord did not give us a spirit of fear, but of
Love, power, and a sound mind.
So it's very important for us to know that it all leads back to God. Everything has to glorify him. And at the end of the day, no weapons formed against you will prosper.
That's right.
So we're going to talk about some books that we feel like really change our perspective on certain things.
Especially in the spirit realm, like in how things work in the spirit. And it's very interesting because I guess, we have this term that we refer to ourselves BC, now we call it BC, isn't it? Before we were fully Christ, we were quite cookie dough-ish.
We call it BC, even though both of us met when we met, we were born again Christians, but that's inverted commas, because that's in inverted commas, because at the end of the day, everybody's on their journey.
Everybody on the journey.
But we were in our early 20s, not to say that you can't be fully surrendered and fight for Christ in your 20s, because I feel like there's a lot of people in this day and age that are, and they perhaps watched millennials make terrible mistakes and were like, I ain't gonna do that.
And that's how it should be.
Everyone
should learn from mistakes.
But I think that when we met, we kind of just got lost in the sauce.
Yeah, man.
We got lost in the sauce, and that
was just us.
Yeah, that was
not
us.
To say 20-year-olds watching or not.
Yeah, that's just us. So that's why we became cookie dough, because when we first met, I remember I was very, very. People used to call me radical, right? When we met. And there was a point when Mike and my cousin actually kind of had a bit of a conversation with me.
Listen, the thing with my wife, as gorgeous as she is when she was younger, it was hot or cold. There was no in between.
There shouldn't be. Anyway.
There shouldn't be, but in terms
I actually think that I wish that I stayed like that, to be honest, because I feel like perhaps if I stayed that way, I would have made less bad decisions.
I might disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
But I think the way you were wasn't necessarily about the decisions you made. It was basically your approach to things was just like...
Explain what...
Very, very...
I'm very intense.
It was intense. But it was like... There's intense and there's like, oh my gosh, that hurt. that was brutal. And blessing was the brutal side of intense.
I was the type of Christian when we met that I was like, oh, you're not a Christian, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
That's the Christian. That was the Christian. I didn't approach things
with love,
softness and love, and with sugar on top. I was like, hey,
not necessarily with sugar, but it wasn't seasoned.
It wasn't seasoned. It was kind of like, hey, oh, you're not a Christian. Oh, you do horoscopes, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, it wasn't like I wouldn't have a conversation with them about it. I wouldn't want to try to just understand them and just find a way to have a conversation with them, let them understand that, oh yeah, you're a Christian. Oh, but you do, just to let you know, this is my approach now, kind of. Yeah. If somebody tells me that they do horoscopes, but they're also a Christian. So for example, somebody will meet me and they say, oh yeah, I love how, you got a fire for Christ. And then they'll ask me, what's my star sign? And I'd say, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, but you said that you're a Christian. And then a lot of the time then back then I would be like, you're going to hell. But now I would have a conversation with them. And then I'll just, try to encourage them to look into the word and let them understand that is a form of divination.
And God doesn't like it.
And God doesn't like it, basically. But that's my approach now. Back then, I wouldn't kind of like...
There was no padding. It was just...
You're going to hell.
Sharp. It was
and
sharp.
And I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but hell is pretty bad. And it's eternity. Like, I used to be like, right now, you're going to live until maybe 100. If you're really healthy, maybe 104, maximum 120. As we read. But... eternity is literally millions, billions of years. That me personally,
it has no end.
It has no end.
Yeah.
Me personally, I want to be with Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then I wouldn't even say it like that.
Yeah, back then
I wouldn't even say it like that.
The thing is, like, I loved her anyway, because I just loved her.
That way.
I loved her that way, but I got to a point where
that's how you met me.
That's how I met her, and I loved her. I was like, yeah, she's on fire for Christ. But after a while, you're like,
that was 19 me. 19 me did not care. I was kind of like, oh, your feelings are hurt.
You're a child of this. I'm telling you as it is.
Yeah, so 19 me was kind of like, oh, your feelings are hurt. At least you know. This is what I used to say. At least I've told you, and God has seen. God as my witness. I was like, God as my witness. He has seen that I've told you.
So the rest is down to you,
down
bro.
to you. Yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah. I loved
Mike
it.
and my cousin.
It got
gave
much.
me a bit of an intervention.
Because it got much. It was like, okay, all right, she's, you
even
become a Christian.
Like, for example, Mike would say certain things, I'm like, bruh, that's giving. Like, Mike would even say certain things, I'm like, bruh.
I remember there was a point where I thought, I need to call Crystal. Let's see if we could have a sit down with her. We was on I can't remember the situation. I think we were on the train. This was young, blessed, isn't it? We're on the train. We're on the train.
1920.
And we'd just come back from church, and the pastor said something about rings being on thumbs and it being associated with ungodliness. And Blessing saw this woman with a ring on her thumb and just went up to her. That's why I loved her, because she's bold. She's still bold today. And she went up to her like, by the way, do you know that your ring on your thumb, do you know that your ring on your thumb is a symbolic of XYZ? It was two women, and one woman was like, I don't care. And Bliss was like, well, you're going to hell, right? And it got a little bit abrasive. I was like, yeah, baby. And then it was like a few minutes later.
By the way, guys, I've actually changed a lot. This is a disclaimer.
This is like 17 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not the same person at all.
I've changed. You're basically a child. I've changed a lot.
And then there was
I'm not even remotely like that anymore.
Not at all.
People that knew me back there, they're like, "Oh, you've changed a lot." Like, we thank God for change.
The Holy Spirit transforms us, isn't it? And then an African girl came onto the train. She had a ring on her thumb. A blessing, in true blessings, that went up to her like, by the way,
I was on a high.
And this girl was like, oh snap, because she was a Christian as well. She's like, oh snap, she took it off. She's like, yeah, just thought to let you know, sis, because sometimes we're doing these things. And I just thought to myself, my thing wasn't with the latter girl, it was with the former girl. Like, if I wasn't here, that would have been a different situation. And I was like, I couldn't get through to her at that point.
But you know what? I'm not trying to be funny. This sounds really bad. Back then, the reason why I was so bold as well is I could fight. I know that sounds so crazy, but it's true.
A lot of people think they can fight, and then they end up in a situation.
I know.
End up in a situation where they're facing like
I know but that's wisdom. Like I remember one of my friends when I was around 17. He said, "One day, your like the way that you approach things is going to get you in really big trouble." Right? This is when I was 17. There was a guy on the bus, and I used to live in Cambridge, and some guy on the bus was like saying, when he saw me and a few of my friends get on the bus, and it was a very multicultural group. So we've got like a Moroccan, we've got Bangladeshi, we've got a few black people, myself and two other people. It was very, Turkish. We're a very multicultural group. However, this person on the bus was like, "Go back to where you come from, all of you," kind of thing. Then he started, he was like, "Go back to where you come from, all of you." All my friends at the time, back then when I was 17, this is the thing, right? There was a lot of things going on in my house at the time. And I think that because of that, anybody outside could get a bit of the smoke. I wasn't, that's going to be it. Because there was a lot of stress happening. So at the time, in my mind, I was like, look, I am not taking anything from anybody at this point. Yeah. My therapist said you were in survival mode. Mm-hmm. That was what I learned. So I was like, oh, shut up. That's literally what I said. So because we're getting on the bus and this person's like, "Oh, all of you, go back to where you come from." And I was like, "Oh, shut up and give it a rest," right? And then that person was like, "Shut up, you N-word," and then monkey. I was like, "What was that?" Say that to my face. So the guy proceeds to come and say it to my face. And he tries to punch me. Anyways, in a nutshell, I was actually doing boxing at the time.
So you were pumped.
So I was actually pumped.
You were motivated.
I was motivated. I was actually motivated.
You were triggered.
I was triggered. Basically. It's unfortunate because right now I feel like I've been met with situations like that as an adult, as a seasoned individual. I'm not that old, but I think with my walk with the Lord, it's like these people are frustrated about so many different things. They've been manipulated. They've been told that, the government has scapegoated people because of their lack of discernment and bad decisions. So a lot of the time when I'm hearing things like that, because I've had loads of really like crazy experiences, if I was to share some with you, you would understand why I was always in survival mode. For example, one person pushed me off a cliff, and it's only the grace of God that I'm here today, just purely based on racism. So you would understand that 17-year-old, 19-year-old.
I had gone through a lot.
I had gone through a lot. And when I say I've changed, it's because I've had a lot of therapy and deliverance. And, God's done great work in me. But that whole situation on the bus, because I'd been doing boxing, the guy definitely regretted saying that. In fact, when I saw him the week after, he crossed the road because he was scared of me. And rightly so, because back then I was not to be played with at all, and I was not born again. I had I knew the Lord, and I funny enough, back then, like it's interesting because when I hear Pastor Stephanie, she's now what is she now? She's a Apostle Stephanie talk. Yeah, whenever I hear Apostle Stephanie say, he was my father, but he wasn't my Lord. I feel like that's such a good way to describe my walk with the Lord, because I knew of him very much, and he was the only father figure I had. So I spoke to the Lord, and I'd hear from him, and I'd have conversations with the Lord, but I wasn't surrendered. So I'll do what I want. I'd be angry. I was so angry about everything. So angry, always angry. So then just imagine that angry person then getting born again. Keep in mind, there was still a lot of growth that needed to be had. So that's why sometimes when you meet these people that are that way, you just need to give them grace because they're on their journey, and you need to understand that there's different paths in life that they've experienced, and certain experiences make people approach things in a different way. But therapy has definitely changed.
But when we met, you'd clearly gone through all of that, but I didn't see you as angry. I saw that as fire.
He saw it as fire, passion,
and I just love a passionate woman. I just knew I was going to marry a passionate woman. I'll leave it there. Passionate woman, because it's just, I saw that as, okay, God, you've got a fireball in the kingdom who's not afraid to walk up to someone and have a conversation with them. Now, back then, the conversation was not a conversation as you get today.
The type of conversation you'll get today would be leading with love.
It would be lovely, nice,
and
sweet
to be fair,
conversation.
the way that I evangelize now would be just telling people my testimony, because sometimes the Lord will let me know that somebody's dealing with depression or whatever, and I will just have a conversation with them.
Yeah. And that's now, and that's obviously because of age, because of therapy. But back then,
deliverance,
and deliverance, of course. But again, from my angle, you guys can see from my angle, when that other woman was getting ready she was probably going through some things as well, and she was just waiting for someone to trigger her. I was just like, okay, we need to call someone that I know who can get through to her. I probably know her for a lot longer than I have, i.e. your cousin. And we sat down, had a conversation, and blessing.
It was an intervention.
And blessing, like a good sport, she took it. She was like, do you know what? I see it.
I'll take it on board.
And she did.
I receive it.
But you did.
Yeah, I did.
It made me love her every mom. Like, oh snap, we can have a conversation and she can just like digest it, And you never got into such situations again, really. Because that chick was scary looking, bro. I think I know how to defend my chick, but I don't think I would have.
I would have. What did you do?
No, but if something popped off, I'm not gonna stand there.
With a woman, it was literally just that.
It wasn't. Listen,
I was not trying.
She wasn't dainty looking, just to put it that way. She was
very. That's not the point.
She was. She looked like she had power.
Back in the day when I was doing boxing, I was fighting very big women.
Yeah,
very big. So I wasn't. I think back then I wasn't scared of anything, and that's gonna be on. That's me just being honest.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared of anything. I was more like Peter. Do you know what I mean? I was like daughter of thunder.
Daughter of thunder.
That was definitely. I think you at some point you actually called me daughter of thunder.
Daughter of thunder.
No, you said something of that vein, because back then that was my mindset. But now I've seen people are crazy. Sometimes they even look dainty and they are crazy.
Listen.
Sometimes people.
I just had this.
You don't know.
I just had this premonition at the time of, oh, this could go left very quickly. And I know my wife.
Some people are crazy.
I know my wife could fight, but I'm just like, everyone thinks they could fight until they end up in the ring with Alexander Usyk.
It's so true.
And then it's over.
By the way, I say that, but I haven't. Obviously, when was the last time we even went to boxing classes as well?
A couple of years
ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago. Back then, when I went back to boxing, I realized I'm not how I used to be.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a fighter, to be honest. In fact, when I was punching and fighting all these like guys in boxing, I came back home. By the way, your friend, because his friend was at a boxing class, your friend probably beat me up today, and I'm definitely not the person that I used to be. I've definitely softened. And I remember speaking to some lady, and some lady was like to me, you give me hope, like you make me believe that I can
be soft
as well, because of where I come from.
The funny thing about boxing, I too was an angry person. I don't want it to be one-sided. I too was an angry child. So
it didn't appear.
Oh yeah,
he masked it really well.
Yeah, it's just different ways of
expressions.
Blessing is very open book. At the time, I was very closed book.
Yeah.
But the pages are on fire inside. So when I did therapy, I also did boxing as well, and I learned in boxing that I can't underestimate anybody, because one time I was told to spar this other girl. And I was like, okay, I'll spar this. I'll go take it easy on, jab, 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 jab. And Joe, the coach at the time, was like, what are you doing? You're meant to, I said you should spar this girl. So teach him. And this chick, she beat me up, man. She beat me. I was like this at the end. I was like, okay, all right, okay. Tap out. You can't tap out. You just have to wait till the bell goes. I just hair shoulder myself, and I just remember feeling so sore. Like obviously I'm going through therapy as well, so I'm triggered because I'm getting beaten upon, not by a girl, but just getting beaten upon. Really, that was one of my triggers.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, you can't underestimate anybody on this earth. Like no one. Even like Blessing said, people who be looking dainty.
They look dainty, but they're crazy.
The minute they get those boxing gloves on, they are wild.
My goodness.
And I discovered that first time. Just to let you know, just to balance out, the following week when I was made to spar her again, I did beat her up. But it's fine. It's boxing. It is what it was.
It was what they...
So when Blessing coming back and saying like, your friend beat me up, I'm like, it's probably because the same situation happened.
Yeah, he was like, the game is the game.
The game is the game.
The game is the game.
You fight back.
Because this is the thing, right? Yeah. The game is the game.
The game is the game.
The game is the game. Like I remember because...
I had to redeem myself because
that guy went for it. I was like, okay, cool. So
we're encouraged. The guys I'm really sorry. In that boxing club, the idea is no one should underestimate anybody. So everyone is encouraged to go for it.
Yeah.
And the coach has because he knows everyone, he had a good way of matching people together. So if he matched you with someone, it's because he knew that, okay, these two will work well together.
Plus, his mindset is, if you're in a situation as a woman, for example, right, and you're training and you've been training with somebody who's just been soft on you, and then now all of a sudden you're out in the wild and then somebody attacks you, that person is not trying to be soft on you.
No.
You need to be able to defend yourself at all times.
Yep.
So go hard or go home.
Go hard or go home.
That's literally how he was. He's like, go hard or go home. He's like, if you cannot take it, Blessing, leave. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna take it.
Me too. I was like, I can't let that happen again.
It was not.
But boxing and therapy went hand in hand for me. The minute I was mainly therapized, I had no, like Blessing said, I had no more fight left in me. I got to boxing and I was like, there's nothing there. There's nothing to get out again. So at that point, I just stopped going. I was like, there's no point in me.
We both went.
The workouts
boxing.
were great though.
It was great. My body was looking great.
Banging.
But loved boxing though.
Yeah.
I feel like it gave. I love boxing because and I love watching boxing as well. It gave me a sense of, because I knew that I was no longer the person that I was when I was like 17, 18. I was like, I'm kind of vulnerable to the wild, technically. Obviously, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus, so anybody trying it. But because God will just send one of his angels on you, so don't try. But I feel like, but I liked the idea of having that defense mechanism. Like it was kind of like, because we watch the Perry's podcast, and I know that her husband, what's his name? What's his name?
Jackie, and there's Preston Perry.
Preston. He is an enthusiast with
weapons.
Weaponry. And apparently like they put it all over the house. Me personally, I think that's very dangerous. I did Army Cadets as a kid, and
she got to use said weapons.
I got to use said weapons, and they are very dangerous. I was a good shoot, by the way.
A good person. She was good at using the weaponry.
Yeah, but I personally wouldn't. I did that again because I was a very angry person, and it made sense. In fact, I actually considered going to the army, which now makes me feel sick to my stomach thinking about that. But at the time, because I was in Army Cadets and they had brainwashed me to the max, I was ready. I was like, oh my gosh. Obviously, I was angry. So I was thinking, I get to do this as a job? Sign me up. And I'm pretty sure, because there's a lot of angry people that I knew back then that joined the army. They were all angry.
I'm sure there are a lot of angry people.
And there was a lot of
army.
people that I know. They were all angry. They were just very angry at everybody. And the people that I did Army Cadets with, some people, a lot of them actually went into army. Sometimes when you think about it, these people joined the army not because, it's a great opportunity. No, they want to shoot people.
Yeah,
they do. That's
don't mind.
100% what they want to do. They're doing it because they just like, oh, great, this is a great opportunity. Obviously, there are perks in the army. You know, they pay for certain things, whatever. But really, that's like I remember.
And then in some countries they leave you high and dry afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not you, but they leave the person.
Yeah, but yeah. So I remember they really brainwashed me to the point where I genuinely considered it, and I was like ready. But yeah, Preston. Obviously, we're in the UK.
Your mother was like, no chance.
No chance. No chance.
Absolutely no
Absolutely
chance.
No.
You're going to be a lawyer.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously we're in the UK, so that's not as common, as in, you know, using weaponry, you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, in watching him describe how it's all over the house and stuff like that, it's kind of scary when they've got like what, 4 children.
Yeah, and kids be finding things,
They
man.
just
That would be stressful.
That would be so stressful for me. I'd be like, bruh.
Our boys are always finding things around the house. There's only 2 of them. They're always finding things around the house. Oh, what is this? How did you get that? Where did you find that?
It was.
I just know they would find one.
Oh my gosh! This is interesting, right? This is BC us, by the way. BC. Whenever we say BC, just know that it's unsurrendered, okay? Because
just think cookie dough.
Cookie dough, yeah. So when we say BC, cookie dough. So we started a bit. We were going to talk about the book, but okay.
No, we still got time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So we were going to. So we started a business at the time. I just feel so embarrassed.
The business came from a good place in the sense that we were looking for a church. And we couldn't find a good church. We couldn't get a feel of the church. So we created a business that would allow people to look for places of worship.
By the way it started was we wanted to start a place and start a website where people can find churches. But then some people we were speaking to when we were doing market research and stuff, they were like, oh, you should open up. Evidently, we were speaking to unequally yoked people. You should open it up to every place of worship. We were like, because we were doing market research in the school grounds, and at the time our kids weren't going to a Christian school, so they were like, oh, you should make it open to everybody, and we were like, So like mumus, we did rubbish.
We did, and we cursed the ground of our business, but you know.
Yeah, and that ended up, by the way, the business closed.
Yeah, it never worked.
It never worked.
And we definitely believe because of that reason.
Yeah, it was definitely cursed.
If it was pure, like, to run the church, I think we would have got somewhere with it. But because we opened it up...
It was cursed.
Anyways, so during this time, we were recording content. And we went to a Hindu temple.
Yeah.
We went to a Hindu temple, filmed lots of content with what do they call him? The pastor of the Hebrew place.
Krishnas? I think so.
The leader. The leader of that particular place. Mind you, the Hindu surroundings, absolutely gorgeous. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How... it was... Anyways, beside the point. We brought home, and I can't remember how we did this, but we brought home a magazine.
By the way, sorry to interrupt you.
Go.
They gave us food offered to idols, obviously.
And
that day, the way that... Obviously, like... in the Bible, it says you'll eat something and you will not be. You'll
eat poison and you won't die. You won't unalive.
However, we ate it, and the way that the Lord made us so sick that day, we puked. It came out from everywhere.
It came out from every hole.
Everywhere. God was like, nope.
Not having that.
No,
I know these kids are just moving crazy, but I'm not having that.
I'm pretty sure that the angels assigned to us were like,
oh my God.
Gosh, these guys are crazy.
What are they doing?
They're like, oh, they're going into the Hindu temple.
We can't even go in there.
Oh, we can't even go in there. They're actually on their own.
Like, oh gosh.
I don't know why our angels are Cockney, but
it's East to South London, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. They're actually on their own.
Cool Gabes. Tell him right now that they've entered a Buddhist temple, Hindu temple, and it is
they're on their own.
I can't do it anymore.
We can't do it.
They're driving me crazy.
They're on their own.
They're on their own. And legit we're on our own.
Legit on our own. The way that we were moving, all types of mad.
Just for content.
It was actually mad.
They recorded the 4K, had the camera had the best panning shots.
By the way,
there's
actually a shot where we were, oh, Lord have mercy.
Where Blessing was meditating with the guy. Oh. And even though we're cookie dough, You could see how uncomfortable she was. She was just looking at him like,
I just know.
you could read it in her face. It's not online
By the
anymore. You
way,
can read it in her
yeah.
face like, oh my gosh, what am I doing?
You know what? During that time, in fact, God used that as an opportunity to start a slow, oh my gosh. It definitely started the surrender eventually, because we were like,
going too far.
We were going too far.
We went too far.
We
went too far.
We went too far. So anyways, yeah. So
we brought home a magazine.
Yeah.
A Hindu magazine
from the Hindu
that temple.
But we put it somewhere in the house.
We can't remember.
We didn't remember.
I can't never remember. Can you remember picking this thing up?
No, I don't remember picking it up.
We can't remember how we got it.
This is how demonic it was, because they gave us something to put into our house. And by the way, I know this sounds really weird, because it actually helps us. It leads us to the books, right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
This is perfect. It's a perfect segue. Because basically, right, we started reading Set the Captives Free, right? And Set the Captives Free, we started to realize that there was certain...
Unbroken Curses.
Unbroken Curses, yeah. We started to read Unbroken Curses.
By Rebecca Brown.
And we were like... we started to remember that after that day, things started to change in our life.
Everything went left. Everything went super left after we left that place. And it was because, one of the reasons because
there was many things that we had done.
So you know how we said our children will find things?
Yeah.
So our son went into the side.
Wait, you're jumping the gun.
Go.
So we were listening to Rebecca, to that book, and we said, Lord, if there's any unclean things in our house, yeah, or if there's any unclean things in our life, make it known.
And this is linked to the fact that in Deuteronomy, I believe, God ordered, Deuteronomy or Exodus, anyways, in the Old Testament, beginning, God said that if you bring any idols into your house, you're reaping curses upon your house.
Yeah,
basically.
So
it's detestable.
Yeah, so we were like, if there is anything unclean in our house, because we realized at this point, everything had been going wrong.
There were a few things that we now thought that, we should throw that way.
Yeah. So there were a few things that were in our house that we knew already after that prayer. Okay, we're gonna throw that way. Anyway, that same day,
kids be finding things, man.
Our youngest son, was like, "What's this?"
He just goes into the sideboard, randomly into the sideboard. He doesn't go into the sideboard. Yeah. This is the problem.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Like, we couldn't hide anything in the sideboard. Yeah. He goes in, pulls out this magazine.
Like, what is
this?
And he was like, he said, Mommy, why is that? He actually said, why is there something demonic in our house?
No, what is that? And we saw it like, yay!
God forbid.
And we knew exactly where it came from. So I took it, went to the outside. You know, there's bins. There's local bins and there's the big bin. I went to the big bin at the top of the street, threw it out there.
And the reason why our son said, why is there something demonic in our house?
Because we taught them of these things.
We're like, look, yeah. So we're like, it's not everything that you bring to the house.
Not everything.
Because this is like...
And let's be honest, that cover was a pretty scary looking cover.
Pretty scary, my goodness.
It was.
It was so scary.
And it's meant to symbolize peace? Nope.
No. And this is the thing, is that we're very particular with the type of things that the kids watch, that they listen to music-wise, whatever. So when he saw that, he's thinking, are my parents hypocrites?
Yeah.
Because it's given hypocrite. And by the way, our kids will feel no way.
They will fully rebuke us.
They will rebuke us. They'll feel no way about saying it.
What is that thing? What's the thing that the elder says? What's that thing? This is what it will say. What's that thing when you tell someone to do something but you don't do it yourself? Oh yeah, it's a hypocrite.
We're like, sure.
Get out of it, fuck round you.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we
by the way,
just
wait, small, sorry.
Go on.
At the moment, our elder is very similar to 19-year-old me.
And he's not even 19 yet. He's only 10.
Yeah, he's very similar. But without the anger, he says it with...
Yeah.
He says it in such a... He says it with just the most calmest and sweetest face.
And he
says the same... He's saying the same thing that I was saying when I was 17, when I was 19, born again. But it was like, he would say the same thing that I used to say, but just like with a smile and cute face.
Just get back to what he's doing.
Yeah.
Just call it a hypocrite. Okay. Yeah, but that's definitely the best description. He's definitely blessings twin.
Yeah. Because I see it, sometimes I'm like, okay, Bubba, you need to find a nicer way to say it.
Yeah.
Try to find a nicer way to say it. Because he's gonna fight for Christ.
Yes, he does.
He's gonna fight for Christ. But if he carries on the way is,
Anyways, I'm here. He can't Ali work.
so it was just like, okay, Bobby, you need to say it in a nicer way, because I've had phone calls like, can you speak to your son? You know, because he said that I'm a fornicator, but he said it in like, he didn't even use the word fornicator. He just basically, I'm like, look, yeah, I'm pretty sure my son didn't use that word. It's giving conviction.
It's giving conviction. You know.
But yeah, but my son, so I would have to have a conversation with I'm like, yeah, so Baba, you know, everyone's on their journey.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way that we approach it.
Yeah.
Everyone's on their journey. You need to give everyone grace to grow.
That's it.
So whenever you see something that you find that you believe biblically is incorrect, your job is to pray for them.
That's it.
So that's how you deal with it. You pray for them. And then, yeah, there's certain people that you can perhaps have a conversation with because they're maybe, you know, your family or whatever. Mm-hmm. You call them out or whatever. But people that are outsiders or, you know, you just pray for them.
That's it. Pray for them.
But you might find, if you know a nice way to say it that won't hurt their feelings, then go for it.
If you don't have a nice way, just don't say nothing.
Don't say anything.
That's my thing. Do I have nothing nice to say? Don't say it at all.
Yeah.
And that generally works most of the time.
For the most part.
Sometimes they can't help themselves.
But we've had a lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
But yeah.
I'd rather my son have Fight for Christ than.
Oh, you can have Fight for Christ, but at the same time, you can't.
He needs to just approach things.
There's ways of saying things that won't get you punched in the face.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
That's my own. I don't want my boy getting punched in the face.
He just needs a nicer approach. Mm-hmm. That's it.
It's all about approach.
But with Rebecca Brown now.
Yeah. Also, we learned that you can bring things into your house.
Yep.
From anywhere, not knowing the origin, and mad things start happening in your house. That's down to the principle. You know what? Why am I fighting this? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, if you bring things of an idealistic nature into your house, you are basically reaping curses upon yourself. So don't be surprised if you went to some seance fair and brought home a seance ornament because you thought it was called where people...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you brought home this ornament, and don't be surprised if things start going a bit pear-shaped.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people lose themselves when they go on holiday as well. When you go on holiday,
that's the worst one, isn't it?
When you go on holiday, you just think, oh, I'm just bringing back, just something to remember the trip. Meanwhile, you know, people forget themselves and they go into the temple and then they buy this thing in the Buddhist temple or whatever. They've visited China, somewhere in China or something like that, and they're just like, well, I need to bring something from there. No, you do not.
Yeah.
You do not.
Yeah, but Deuteronomy 7:26 says, do not bring any detestable objects into your home, for then you will be destroyed just like them. You must utterly detest such things, for they are set apart for destruction. I don't know what... that's Deuteronomy 27. I'm trying to get the ICB version. Deuteronomy, what was it? Deuteronomy 7:26. Hold on. 7:26 says...
The ICB version.
The ICB. Do not bring one of those hated things into your house. If you do, you will be completely destroyed along with it. Hate and reject those things. They must be completely destroyed. And I think the context is burn up their idols in fire. Do not wish for silver and gold on them. Don't take it for yourselves or you'll be trapped by it. The Lord, your God, hates it. Basically, idols. You know, you pick up this little yogi, figurine or souvenir, you bring that home and things are going.
People always lose themselves. Because there's a thing, like, I know for a fact, I've had conversations with the most fire for Christ Christians. Mm-hmm. And then when they go on holiday, they're like, oh my gosh, I got all these souvenirs. Cool. And you're just like, bruh.
And we've heard stories about people buying things. And even like in the book Unbreakable Curses, she speaks about a situation Unbroken Curses. Unbroken Curses. She speaks about a scenario of somebody buying an image, was it a geisha image, for example? And next thing, this husband and wife were just feeling all these sensual feelings towards other people,
Not towards themselves.
not towards each other. And it was very bizarre because they loved each other. They were on fire for Christ, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't help this feeling that they're feeling these outside external thoughts that are coming into their scene, and the Holy Spirit revealed to them that basically that image represents something, and they went into the history of the geisha women, how they were used for physical relations and things like that, and clearly whoever designed or painted that image, the spirit of that thing was in the image, and therefore it came out. And this is why, for example, when we're talking to creatives, it's like, make sure what you create is good, comes from a good, especially Christian creatives, because wherever you create, it's the spirit of what you create is in that work piece. So if you write a song, the best example that we always use is, I've got nothing against Adele, but back in the day, I guess pre-married Adele was very hurt, very heartbroken.
She'd been through things.
And she'll write those songs and she'll sing those songs, but you can't help but feel the sadness of those songs.
She's really good at her job.
Precisely, but that's also the creative nature of God within us, right? We can create something, and if we want someone to feel a particular way, we know how to word or paint a picture to make people feel that feeling. That's why art is so powerful. Yeah. Because if someone is feeling a particular way and they paint it a particular way, you look at that and be like, I sense anger.
Yeah.
I sense the strokes it's saying something that can't be speak. I sense some form of suppression here. But that's because the artist was genuinely feeling that.
Yeah, that's deep. And sometimes as well, when people, like for example, when you watch a movie, and Marvel's really good at doing this, right? You watch a movie, they make you sympathize with the villain.
I get what you're saying. They do make you sympathize with the villain, but I think this was interesting. I think we spoke about this not too long ago. It's interesting because they make you sympathize with the villain, yes, but also on the other spectrum of things, as Blessing said earlier on in this podcast, it was some people just go through a lot of things, man. I don't think anyone's natively a villain. They've gone through some things to make them a villain. And Rebecca Brown spoke of this in her book. This is where he set the cats free comes in, because it shows that people in the demonic realm, the human beings in the demonic realm, they're being brought in based on pain or based on things that are unresolved within themselves. And it's very easy as someone who is hurt,
because the enemy loves to initiate people through pain, and that's why certain things go. There's certain things that I went through, but I feel like because I knew the Lord as my Father, is only the grace of God that I didn't go down a dark road. Could have easily happened.
Same.
And I think that is purely because I was so angry.
Yeah, angry. My thing was anger, rejection, the need to be wanted, and as a grown up now, as 37 now, I can easily see 17, 18-year-old me, the road I was going to go down prior to meeting this woman, the road I was going to go down, and I could see obviously that was a very easy trap set by the enemy to initiate me into some things based on my own undealt with trauma. And I feel like we read in this book, in the Rebecca Brown book anyway, that's a very common tool, and she calls it doorways. The enemy uses doorways. So wherever you're feeling, and this is why Jesus says, listen, forgive people. It's mainly for you, because when you forgive people, yes, God will forgive you, but when you forgive people, you also unlock that person. You also somewhat help that person out as well, because they see that, that they've hurt you, and you reap what the Bible says, hot coals on their head. You make them feel bad for what they did to you. But it's powerful. We talk about this all the time.
We've got a whole journal set called Created to Create. Created to Create. Purely, so for somebody who is an artist, we've got the dots, we've got checkers, we've got, for fashion designers, we've got the croquets. And it's because we believe that as Christians, we were created to create. But that's power in what we create. So much power in it.
You can create really amazing stuff, but you can create equally negative stuff that's also amazing, but still negative. That's why I love artists, the big artists of our time, and pre our time as well. they were all such magnificent craftspeople, but you look at their work and you can see some form of sadness, or you can see some form of oppression in there, because that's what they were feeling. So everything you create is very powerful.
You even see with the people that have been recently arrested, if you look back at their catalogue, you can be like, yeah.
They definitely spoke those things into existence.
Yep. You can see that.
And if you follow UK rap scene, you'd by what we just said, you would know who we're talking about.
Yeah, sad. I feel like this is one of the things that we've spoken about a lot because of the type of books that we've listened to and stuff. When we speak to the boys, we're like, make sure that you understand that people use manipulation and they're very slick with it. So they might be watching something and say, oh, is that manipulation? Because we've really made sure that they understand what manipulation is.
Which a lot of movies is the norm.
Yeah. Which is so interesting. But
a lot of kids will copy that.
Yeah. It's a manipulation there. Yep. And they manipulate people into thinking that it's acceptable and all this type of stuff. And I actually remember seeing that because we were big Black Panther fans. In fact, we've got Black Panther costumes. We had a Black Panther themed birthday party. We, big Black Panther fans.
Yeah.
And I remember finding out that the Wakandan cross thing that they do, to greet each other is something that's pagan, and it's from pagan. It's got pagan origins, and it's really interesting because we've got so many pictures. There's a picture of Mike and I in the Black Panther costumes, and this is like before we knew all of this stuff. So I was saying to the boys, like, look, you need to be. We need to stay woke.
Listen, whatever you watch is not what it seems.
Not because sometimes it looks cool, and sometimes it is cool, but you have to be careful, man, because the devil loves to make good things look bad, and bad things look good.
That's what we told them.
So yeah, man.
Yeah.
So deep. But yeah.
So deep. But so those books, particularly Unbroken Curses, has really opened up our eyes to the fact that you can literally walk under a curse without even knowing.
Yeah. But we thank God that, this is why I think that in the Bible obviously says that if you lack wisdom, which everyone should just pray for wisdom every day.
Every day.
By default, if you think that you're wise, you're not wise.
You're not wise.
So,
Facts. No printer.
Yeah. So if you lack wisdom, you should basically ask for wisdom. So, getting wisdom and understanding through discernment what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Because here's the thing,
the Holy Spirit
will lead you and guide you.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's interesting because in Psalm 23 he says that he will guide me through he will lead me through still waters.
He leads me beside still waters.
Yeah, leads me beside still waters.
He restores
my soul. And green pastures, and obviously all of that is peace. It's peace, right? But if you are doing things because everyone's like, oh, no weapons formed against you will prosper.
Yeah, I'm living on the grace.
But then, really, you're actually moving mad, and you're literally calling all of this rubbish to you.
Literally, God wants to spare you from longness.
Yeah, so that's why He says, if you lack wisdom, which everybody does, we all lack wisdom.
We should ask.
We should always ask, because
and He will genuinely give it to us without reproach.
So then that way, prior to doing anything, you'd be like, Lord, should I go here? Should I do this? Should I do this? And you will feel the unction whether, you need to try your best to be as sensitive to the Holy Spirit as possible so that you find yourself in the right places at the right time. And
And if you find yourselves in the wrong place at the wrong time, God will still save you.
Yeah.
But there will still be consequences from you entering such a place, because there are laws in the world that God created that they're just be. Yeah. And He wants to save you from things being long for you. Yeah,
because there are some territories that are actually like... What I mean by that, like, for example, before you go somewhere, or when you're praying, you dedicate places. So, you have a church and you dedicate it to the Lord. Some people dedicate their shops or dedicate their buildings to
not the Lord.
To not the Lord. So this is why we need to talk about Frank Peretti, because I think Frank Peretti will really help. But I think we should talk about Frank Peretti next episode, because I feel like Frank Peretti
It links in so nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like you go to certain places and it's just headache. Everything headache. And then after that,
what am I doing here?
and then after that is headache. And it's because you can't. There's certain territories that are just
owned by
unfortunately,
demons.
It's just yeah.
And you find yourself in this place. Sometimes the Holy Spirit will say, "Don't go to that place." And you're like, I'm gonna find out for myself.
I'm gonna find out for myself. You know what's actually funny? Funny enough that I went into an antique shop. This was like a few years ago. So I went into the antique shop. I love antiques. I do. I love antiques. I love vintage clothes. I love it. I love it so much.
Well-crafted items.
I love, because you know why? Antiques, vintage clothes, a lot of vintage good pieces. It's very difficult to find the quality. Now, everything's made out of crap, rubbish. Nothing is made out of mahogany or, beautiful wood or whatever.
Everything's made out of paper now.
Everything's just rubbish. It's just really rubbish. Bad quality. So I love a good antique shop. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't bought anything yet because we're not in the place that I would like us to be yet. But there's certain place. But I know for a fact that I will be buying a lot of antiques. However, I was walking. I like to window shop in antique shops. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So I was in this antique shop. No, I walked. I was about to walk into an antique shop, and then the Holy Spirit is almost like I felt my back being pulled back, like you ain't going in there, and I still was like, no, I'm gonna go in. I walked in.
I'm definitely going in.
I'm still going in because there was so many. The stuff there just looked so beautiful
on the outside. So
I went in there and I just felt a darkness. It literally felt like it was like a whoosh, and immediately I felt very down, and I was with my friend at the time. I was like, we need to leave.
She was like, yeah, let's leave.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah,
because she felt the same thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, see, God wanted to spare you from that feeling. Because God cares about every detail of our lives, Not to say he can't save you from going into said places, but he'd rather spare you from the consequences of going into such places.
Yeah. That was like, I went in there like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Probably longer. But I do remember the Holy Spirit like, no, you have no business being in there.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you lie down with dirty dogs, you're going to get fleas. But God will be like, don't lie down with that dog.
Yeah.
I don't want you to get fleas.
Yep.
Because that's long.
Yeah.
You will survive the fleas, but you didn't have to go through that.
Yep. But then sometimes you do it and, obviously biblically, God makes everything work out for our good. So even though there was something bad we experienced, we're going to learn from that experience.
Yeah. As you heard last week, we'll learn from it.
Yeah, and gain wisdom.
Yeah, he'll allow you to learn from it.
Yeah.
But, the signs were there all along. Don't buy that thing. Don't go to that place. Don't say that thing you're about to say. She said it. He said it. Done.
I just know, but there's certain things I'm just like, our angels, I was just like, oh, man.
Oh, they can't. What is it? What is this where the scripture comes in? What is it about these humans that you're so mindful of them? They are pathetic.
Yeah, it is well. We thank God.
Yeah.
I love, by the way, when I say it is well, sometimes I'm actually saying it is well, but sometimes I'm unfortunately mocking it. Purely based on the fact that when we were going through our season last year, every time I heard it, I was just, it became a trigger because I was like, it is not. I know that with faith as a Christian, you must say it is well, and truly the Lord will look after you and care for you. But
and ironically, the origin of that statement was from a situation where it was peak.
Really peak. It was so
peak,
bad.
But she was like, it as well.
Like her son was on the brink of not being with this. Yeah. And it was really, and the fact that she said, it is well. Oh my God.
Just come on, it's well. And she was so cool and calm on the surface. Bruv. So, it is well.
Yeah, it is well. I remember I was like, oh, yeah. But yeah, it is well.
Yeah. But Rebecca Brown, Unbroken Curses, Highly recommend you read it. It will literally open you up your eye to so many things, so many different scenarios. She wrote it in the 80s or the 90s, but it feels like it was written today.
Yeah.
Literally. But then after you've read Unbroken Curses, read He Came to Set the Captives Free. Because I feel like if you read it in that order, then read He Came to Set the Captives Free, it will kind of lock things in.
Yeah.
And then you can read the other books around that as well, which was He Came to Set the Captives Free,
Vessel of
Becoming
Honor.
a Vessel of Honor, and there's one just before that. Prepare for War.
My gosh.
You want to learn about spiritual warfare? There you go. Prepare for War. Those 4 books in themselves, heavy books, and again, they're not designed to scare people. They're designed to inform you on things that are happening in the realm unseen. But they've really opened our eyes and changed the way we approach certain things. And now we look at everything like everything is spiritual. Everything, you hear us say this a lot. Everything is spiritual. Listen, that wall is not just white because it's white. It's white because there was some spirit behind it being white. Sometimes it's the demon.
It's just a white.
Sometimes it's the Holy Spirit inspiring someone to paint it white.
Sometimes it's just white paint, but yeah.
It was still spiritual.
Yeah.
The person who used that white paint had a feeling. It came from somewhere or the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
And they chose white paint.
Because, sometimes...
That's the way I see it.
There was one time, oh my gosh, guys, there's a lot of stories that we can tell you because we've done a lot of foolishness in our past. But
listen,
we'll share them just so that you can be better than us.
Do better.
Do better. Don't be like old us, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure there's going to be, God forbid, but at the end of the day, humans be humaning.
Yep.
I'm sure there's going to be more things that we're going to do that we're like, oh, why did we do that?
Yeah.
But
and we'll be here to share it with you so you don't copy us.
Don't copy us. But I'm not going to tell you too much detail, but we were invited to some people's house. We're not going to tell it in too much detail because I feel like it's a little bit it's a little bit much. But
it's a bit much. It is much.
It's a bit much. But we were invited. So basically, we used to run a magazine. And the magazine was doing reasonably well. Yeah. And we were invited to this affluent couple's house. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I do feel it's funny because I do
we don't
feel
know
like
we don't know the couple from Adam.
We don't know them from anywhere.
They just invited us. We just went to a stranger's house.
Okay, so we went to. I feel like there's certain details that will really put some context, but I can't.
I think I can help on this one.
Okay.
All this house was in the middle of nowhere. A. B, it was, the house was just so dark.
Yeah.
It was incredibly dark. Like even the dog had enough.
Yeah, we mistakenly dropped the dog, by the way.
I dropped the dog.
It's so bad. It's actually so bad.
So what had happened was, quick digression was,
so bad.
At the time
By the way, we're jumping. We did not know these people.
We don't know these people.
We met them at Fashion Week.
And they invited us to their house.
And that was it. We had never met them, but we met them once.
We had a conversation for all of what?
5 minutes.
5-10 minutes.
And they invited us to their house.
We like you guys so much. You should come around for dinner. Yeah, okay. Because we're thirsty. Let's go. So, I was drinking champagne because they served us champagne.
Back then. We don't drink anymore, but back then we.
They knew Love Clico as well. So this is beautiful, And, we'll walk around their acreage because they had lots of acres of land.
Yeah.
With their dog, who this dog was just on its way out.
Honestly, the dog looked like a rat. I love dogs, but this particular dog looked like a very skinny rat.
It was very big. It was a fat dog.
I remember I did not.
Or pug. One of them two.
It was definitely not a pug. I love pugs. Trust me, I would know if it was a pug.
I remember this thing was not skinny. It's not skinny at all. It was heavy.
Oh my gosh. We both have conflicting memory.
Or I was that intoxicated that I didn't realize.
Yeah, because I remember, trust me,
this
the
dog
was old.
And
right?
It was fat.
And its hair was very it was not a pug. The hair was very brittle. Like that type of brittle hair where they've got the whiskers. It looked like an old man dog. Like it literally could have easily been.
The dog was old.
It was a very old
also
dog.
Fat. You think it was skinny?
It was not.
I guess we'll never know.
It was a small dog. One of those small dogs.
It was definitely a small dog. Enough for me to pick up with one hand.
So now, and this guy's trying to say it's a pug. It was not a pug. It was not a pug.
It was a small.
I love pugs.
It was a small fat dog. Enough to pick up with one hand.
It was not.
But I was so intoxicated at the time. I picked up the dog.
He dropped.
And the dog wasn't having it, and the dog kind of just slipped out of my hand and just fell.
And it was a bad fall.
It was a bad fall. The dog was limping. And we didn't say nothing because it was like, can't come to these random people's house and drop their dog. That's a crime, bro. So we're confessing on the internet now. They'll be like, what happened to our dog? It was you guys. It wasn't us. It was previous us. Those souls are gone. Goodbye, world. They're no longer with you.
Technically, the dog jumped off. It wasn't actually...
The dog landed bad. I didn't drop the dog. The dog landed bad. I'm changing my story, but it felt... Because I was intoxicated at the time, I can't fully recollect the events. Did the dog jump out of my arms and land on its corner?
My gosh. He can't even remember if the dog was asleep or not. But trust me, either way, the dog jumped off.
It jumped and it landed
and it was a very bad fall. It was a bad fall.
It didn't land on its side, landed on its corner.
Yeah.
And it was
a bad situation.
And the dog was limping for the rest of the day, and I felt so bad. So bad. Like, oh gosh, why did I even try to pick up this dog?
This house looked haunted.
It was definitely haunted.
It looked haunted. It had all these gargoyles, and it had loads of it had loads of those
it was very gothic.
Very gothic themed. The house was huge. It was one of those manor houses.
Gothic lux.
It was a manor house, and it had like all these what did they call those stuffed animals? Remember?
Taxidermy.
All over the house.
Something like that.
Some really scary, questionable art.
Oh.
And then when we were sitting down for dinner,
there was this big long table with these live plants with
and
live
bugs.
Insects.
Oh no, my God!
Can you imagine eating pumpkin soup, and there's this beetle that's just creeping up trying to share this bowl of pumpkin soup with you? It wasn't a nice experience. And we're just like, we need to get off there.
And the thing is that our ticket was
booked for later in the night because we were planning to spend the whole day with these people, but we were there for all 2 hours,
and we needed to go.
So we made up a lie like, let's just say the guy was Tony. Hey Tony,
let's be frank. We fully lied.
We lied. Tony, we just realized our train actually leaves in an hour, and you're about 45 minutes from the station. We kind of need to leave. So the guy, you sure you don't want to stay for dinner? I can pack it away. We're like, no, we just realized, we're really sorry. I just realized that when I booked it, it said 1 o'clock. I thought it was 10 o'clock. I'm really sorry. Oh, no problem. He just whizzed us to the station. Man was got into an accident on our behalf.
Yeah.
But got us to the station, and then we waited for, the train was really going to leave like in 4 hours.
Yeah.
But we'd rather wait in the train station for 4 hours than spend another 4 hours in that person's house. It was that dark. Bruv. Where were we going with that story?
I just, because you were talking about decoration, and I just remembered how dark and demonic that house was.
It was spiritual,
and we
man.
felt like that place was possessed.
It was
the walls were
spiritual.
possessed though. Now that we have like read Frank Peretti and stuff, the visualization in my mind is literally like these demons are everywhere. Like the place is.
Had our spiritual eyes been open, it would be like, yo.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be here.
Yeah, like that place. I can just imagine like that place was infested.
And those people were quite pagan as well.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We were, to be frank, like everyone's on their journey. We weren't.
How long
we
were
weren't
we? 23, 24?
We weren't any better, to be honest.
23, 24. Yeah. But I mean,
we were moving.
We were still cooking them, but even going, there was levels.
There's levels. There was levels.
Even we knew as cookie dough people
that we had no business being there.
We shouldn't be here.
We had no business being there.
We had morals. We realized we had morals.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I
feel like there's certain details that will really put the thing in context, but I'm not going to say it on this internet.
Yeah, it's not for the internet, but it was a dark place and we shouldn't have gone there.
Yeah.
Moral of the story. Listen to the Holy Spirit and don't go where you are not sent to go. And don't go where you are not welcomed. And just listen to the Holy Spirit.
We were definitely welcomed. They really wanted us there. In fact, they wanted us to stay over.
Oh my gosh. I just remember this true.
They even wanted us to stay over. They said that they even had
made up a room for us. It was a really nice room.
They made a room for us. And it was almost like one of those suites. You know, like if you went to like a Claridge's.
Like, yeah. It was banging with some goth. It was goth lux. The theme was goth lux in it. And we're just thinking we can't stay here. Because imagine if we had stayed, I don't know, it would have been a get out situation.
It would have. 100%.
100% been a get out situation.
My gosh. It would, no, 100%.
100% been a get out situation. We wouldn't be here to tell you this story. We'll be in the couch. Just say it.
Oh my gosh. We had no business. I remember when we were sitting in that train station for hours. We were like, just imagine both of us were like, there were moments, because we talk a lot. We're talkers. But I just remember for the 4 hours we'll be silent, and then we'll just be like, we had no business being
I
there.
don't know what we're doing. What is this place? It was even in the train station was just eerie.
Yeah.
What is this place? They just about had a Starbucks, so we got our stuff with frappuccinos. And then we sat there for 4 hours waiting for
And
our
the only
food.
reason why we didn't buy another ticket, I think at the time we just didn't have the money to.
Yeah.
It was really expensive.
Can you imagine going into the middle of nowhere with not that much money?
Ah!
Imagine if you had to leave and you couldn't.
The lack of
Imagine
wisdom.
if my
gosh.
guy didn't have a car. I don't even know how we're getting to his place anyway. But imagine if he's like, "Oh, I've just drank this bottle of wine. I can't drive."
He had drank. He drove. He drank. He definitely.
He wasn't intoxicated. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't like lampshaded, but he had a
He
little
was
bit. But,
definitely drinking and driving for sure.
but imagine if he just
That's
finished.
why he nearly got into the accident.
You know what? It's true. I guess I would see this is why I should be intoxicated. You should be sober minded because I remember it entirely differently. But just imagine he was like sloshed and like on the floor, paralyzed, tap drunk.
These
And they
people
were sleeping
really
at-
wanted us to stay in their house.
Even though we told them we had a ticket,
They said they offered to buy us a brand new ticket.
buy a brand new ticket. Don't worry, enjoy yourself. Look, we just want to know so much about you. I'm like, bruv, let's go home, please.
I beg.
I beg, let me go.
Really and truly, you guys be better than us.
Be better than us.
Be better than us
It's
because
not-
I remember we had spoken to them for no more than 5
Can you imagine,
minutes in Fashion Week.
bruv?
Like, I remember it was London Collection, right? And we had
Yeah.
spoken to them for no more than 5 minutes.
That's it. And
5
now
minutes.
we find ourselves in the middle of nowhere in their house. The real moral of the story is not everywhere you
It's not
go.
everywhere you should be going.
That's it.
It's actually not everywhere you should be going.
It's not everywhere you go. Sometimes stay in your house.
Sometimes stay in your house.
That's it. Whew. Genesis chapter 7. Read some Bible to counteract that last bit of the conversation because, fam, it's not everywhere you go, in it.
What's that?
Guys, we're reading Genesis chapter 7. Last week we were reading Genesis chapter 6. It was building up to the flood. Now we're in there right here. We're reading from the ICB, the International Children's Bible, because the English is superb. And if
Very
you're joining,
clear.
yeah, very clear. If you're joining us for the first time, that's what we're using.
Yeah.
But you can follow along with whatever version of the Bible you have. I'm going to read along, and Blessing is going to, let you know what she researched about.
Yeah, research is a bit ambitious. You really Googled search, okay? It was not really a
It's
research.
a quick live Google search.
Yeah.
What does this mean?
But yeah, I will be the co-listener. I'll listen, and if he misses a word, because he tends to like miss words. I'll just
Yeah, I
be
tend to
like,
miss that whole paragraph. Like, you jumped a page, bruv. Go back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm support.
She's support.
Yeah, I'm
support. Okay, all right. Genesis chapter 7. We're reading from the beginning, of course. Titled, The Flood Begins. Then the Lord said to Noah, I have seen that you are the best man among the people of this time. So you and your family will go into the boat. Take with you 7 pairs, each male with its female, of every clean animal. And take 1 pair, each male with its female, of every kind of unclean animal. Take 7 pairs of all the animals of the sky, this is why she support. Take 7 pairs of all the birds of the sky, each male with its female. This will allow all these animals to continue living on the earth after the flood. 7 days from now, I will send rain on the earth. It will rain for 40 days and 40 nights. I will destroy the earth, every living thing that I have ever made.
I will destroy from the earth.
Sorry. Our son does this. I've realized this.
He got it from you.
Imagine. Let me rewind that. 7 days from now, I will send rain on the earth. It will rain 40 days and 40 nights. I will destroy from the earth everything that I will destroy from the earth every living thing that I made. I need to just relax, man. I don't know why I'm rushing.
Literally,
Where am I going?
Yeah, our kid does this as well as we go from.
Just rush reading for what reason? Where you going, bruv? Okay. Verse 5. Noah did everything that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood came. He and his wife and his sons and their wives went into the boat. They went in to escape the waters of the flood. The clean animals, the unclean animals, the birds, and everything that crawls on the ground came to Noah. They went into the boat in groups of 2, male and female. This was just as God had commanded Noah. 7 days later, the flood started. Verse 11. Noah was now 600 years old. The flood started on the 17th day of the second month of that year. 17th of February. I guess it's not the same type of calendar, but I just read that 17th of Feb. Anyways, that day, the underground springs split open, and the clouds in the sky poured out rain. The rain fell on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. On that same day, Noah and his wife, his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives went into the boat. They had every kind of wild animal and tame animal. There was every kind of animal that crawls on the earth. Every kind of bird was there. They all came to Noah in the boats, in groups of 2. There was every creature that had the breath of life, 1 male and 1 female of every living thing that came. Every living thing came. This was just as God commanded Noah. It was just as God commanded Noah. Then the Lord closed the door behind them. Water flooded the earth for 40 days. As the water rose, it lifted the boat off the ground. The water continued to rise, and the boat floated on the water above the earth. The water rose so much that even the highest mountains under the sky were covered by it. The water continued to rise until it was more than 20 feet above the mountains. So it's very, very a lot of water, man. So verse 21. All living things that moved on earth. This included all the birds, tame animals, wild animals, and creatures that swarm on the earth, and all human beings had everything on dry land. So everything on dry land. This means that everything that had the breath of life in its nose. So God destroyed from the earth every living thing that was on the land. This was every man, animal, crawling thing, and bird of the sky. All that was left was Noah and what was with him in the boat. And the waters continued to cover the earth for 150 days. Right. So 40 days and 40 nights of rain. Was that a month and a bit? Month and a bit of rain. Mm-hmm. And then after that, another 5 months of just chilling water. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I noticed as I was reading this? Before you jump into your research. Mm-hmm. The word says, take with you 7 pairs, each male with its females, of every kind of clean animal. Take 1 pair, each male and female, with every kind of unclean animal. Take 7 pairs of all birds of the sky. 7 pairs. The earth was destroyed, right? But there were 7 pairs of each animal because there are 7 continents. So when they left the ark, they were made to go and be blessed and repopulate the earth again. So therefore, they went back to different continents. That's cool. That's what I think. I saw 7 pairs and I'm like, well, of course, there's 7 continents. Are there 7 continents? Yeah. Yeah. Rest is like impressive. I did geography GCSE. I know there are 7 continents. That's cool. Yeah. So because God obviously rubbed out everything, he had to kind of effectively start again. So he sent everyone. And it's interesting because there weren't really 7 of Noah's children. So it's interesting how the earth got repopulated again. I'm interested in see if the next chapter reveals that. Because it's literally just Noah and his 3 sons and their wives.
Getting busy.
What else he was 600 years old, so their children must have been at least 100 or something. It's true. Going by recent records of, people have started their families late into their hundreds.
It's true. So in Genesis 7, I'm not going to... Oh, sorry. In Genesis 7, I think we've already mentioned the Hebrew word for ark, right?
Long boat.
Tever, yeah. But there's also from Genesis 7:1 as well. Noah, the word tasdik that sounds questionable, but Tzaddik. Genesis 7:1. God declares Noah Tzaddik in his generation. This refers not just to a good person, but to someone who acts with moral integrity and aligns with God's justice.
What's the term?
Tzaddik.
Zadik. Is the T silent?
I don't know.
Is the T silent or is the Z silent? TZADDIK.
And
Zadik.
Tzaddik.
Zadik.
Yeah.
I think it's Zadik.
Okay.
Well, don't know.
Both of us don't speak Hebrew.
I mean, I'm
so-
part Hebrew. I keep telling you this. So I have an affinity for these words, but I'm sure it's.
By the way, when he says this, just know that he's playing. Yeah, I don't want you to think that he's a Hebrew Israelite.
I'm not Hebrew
I don't want you
Israelite.
to think anything like that.
I'm just
he's
part
just playing.
Hebrew.
He's just he likes to play. He likes to troll. He likes to bant. Okay, Mabul. Sometimes he says he's half French. So that I'm just giving.
Pourquoi? Of course.
Sometimes he says he's half Madagascar.
I don't care Madagascar.
No,
I just say that's my ends in it.
So what's that?
I'm not
Are
Madagascar.
you not claiming Madagascar then?
Just because I was brought up in Southeast London, I don't claim to be a Southeast Londoner.
So you
I just
claim
like the
Madagascar.
ends. I just like the ends. I like the ice cream one, but I like the vanilla.
Have you been to Madagascar?
No, but I like the vanilla ice cream. I like the vanilla they produce. That's why it's dead to my heart. That's it. What I said.
So when I say that he's just joking.
You know what?
He's
Why do
joking.
we even find the internet? Let's ask the Google.
Ask Google what if you're from Madagascar?
No, of course not.
What are you asking Google?
What's the pronunciation of Zadik? Is it Tzaddik or is it Zadik?
I don't know. Let's get the pronunciation.
Let's get the Google. Let's get the Google.
But yeah, this guy, Madagascar. Like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, I could be pronunciation.
But he's like, oh, I'm half. So, what's another thing that you say you're half?
What?
No, because this word here. No, you're not. You spelled it wrong.
Sounds correct. Is
No,
it
you
2 Ds?
didn't. Okay. I thought you put a J there.
It's a
Tash.
No, it's sa. Hold on. That's not even the pronunciation, bruv.
It's pronounced as Tash Dick.
That's not Tash though. That's TS. That's TSH. Because it's phonetics. Look at Google. So, sounds like cats, followed by a Cats.
Ta.
Sounds like ta.
Yes, ta.
Tadik.
Tadik. I pronounced it right.
It's Tadik. Tadik, isn't it?
Tadik.
No, but it sounds like cats. Tats.
Yeah, tats.
Tats. Tatsadik.
Okay.
Oh, this is stressful.
How?
Anyways.
Okay, and then we got my ball, which.
Oh, do you know what? All this time I thought you were saying my boo. I thought you were referring to me as saying, don't mind my boo.
No, my bull as an Mabbul. This guy.
Sorry.
My bull.
I thought you were saying my boo. I thought you were having the Alicia Keys moment.
It's
Go on.
flood. It means flood or
A deluge.
Okay, that's Genesis 7:6. This is the specific Hebrew term for the great flood. It holds the root connotation of an inundation.
Oh, what's that? Or
You know when you
destruction from
inundation or destruction from above.
above? I won't lie, I don't know that word.
What when you inundate something?
Is that the same inundate?
Well,
Inundation.
yeah, representing the terrifying force of the waters
Yeah, water can be scary though.
returning to the earth.
Water can be scary.
Yeah. And then we've got Yizga. Yizga spelled Y-I-S. Oh, by the way, did I spell Mabbul? Mabbul.
Yeah.
Yizga, Yisger. We spell it so that you can
research it for yourself.
And you might be like, she read it all taps are wrong.
But we are
You
not.
might actually be Hebrew. I'm sorry.
And if you're Hebrew, please Give us the phonetic pronunciation. Let us know in the comments. Thank you.
Yisger, Yisger. Genesis 7:16. This verse notes that God shut the door of the ark behind Noah. The Hebrew verb indicates a firm, complete closing. Many commenters describe this as a cosmic hug, meaning God himself sealed and protected Noah and his family.
When God closed the door, nobody can open it.
Or vice versa.
And therefore, when God opened the door, nobody can close it. That's what it's saying right there.
Avad, AVAD, perished or destroyed. Genesis 7:21. We can start using that word for the unalive.
Avad.
So
he avad.
That's our new.
That.
That's our new word.
She lived 600 years and then avad.
Yeah,
I like that.
This verb.
But that's more perished though.
Yeah. But this verb describes the tragic fate of all living things outside the ark. It carries a heavy sense of being lost, ruined, or completely eradicated from existence.
That's heavy. I think avad is a bit heavy, you know.
Well.
So if they had a drastic avad, then it's avad, isn't it?
It's avad.
What if they just avad from old age?
Well, we'll still say avad from old age.
Okay, I see it.
We've got Nish.
It lightens it.
Yeah, it does. Nishmat, Ruach,
Elohim.
Okay, so Nishmat.
The breath of God.
Yeah, Nishmat, Ruach, Shayim. Okay, I'm gonna spell it out, guys, because
Nishmat, Ruach, Shayim.
NISHMAT and then Chayim.
Chayim.
CHAYYIM. Breath of the Spirit of Life. Genesis 22. This is a deeply profound phrase detailing the source of life in all land creatures. Nishmat refers to a divine spark of breath/soul, highlighting the sanctity of life that was lost.
Okay.
Then we've got Vaimachu.
That's a mouthful.
Honestly, like
that's a mouthful.
I wish, because one of my friends, she says she's going to learn Hebrew. The moment she does, I'm gonna be like, okay, so we're going to.
So we're going to stream you in. And she's going to be right here in the corner.
Yeah, and she's going to be doing it for
Angela, what is the word for that? Her name's not Angela. Angela, what is the name of? And she'll be like, it's Chayim.
Yeah. So Vaimachu. Oh my gosh.
You did well.
Vaimachu.
You did well.
How do you know I did well, babe? You don't know, because but it's the blind leading the blind.
I'm saying phonetically, it looks correct. Vaimachu.
It's pronounced. Oh my God. It's pronounced. It's spelled VAYIMMACHU, and they were blotted out. The root word. So this is Genesis 7:23. The root word signifies wiped out. Or erased. Sinful humanity was violently and entirely erased, starting the earth over from a blank slate.
Okay.
Have you got the pronunciation?
Vayim Machu.
Oh, I tried.
You tried.
I tried. We thank God.
Vayim Machu. Do you know what? We need to create something to help us with pronunciations.
We do. We actually do.
We definitely do.
Let's create a gem.
Pending.
Yeah, pending. Because let's be honest,
it's a bit peak.
It's a bit peak.
But the words are still the words.
The word is still the word, and we thank God for His word. And we hope that our mini. What would you call the beginning parts of this podcast? Because sometimes we waffle, sometimes we joke.
No, we're sharing experiences.
Yeah.
We're almost elders now, isn't it?
Speak for yourself. I'm joking. I am young. You are the one that's old.
I'm not old. I am experienced.
I mean, you act like we're in our.
You're almost 40, as you tend to remind me from time to time.
But that's still
when
young.
I wear skinny trousers.
Okay.
Just saying.
By the way, these skinny trousers are the same skinny trousers that I bought, right? So it's not even like when he's saying that, he's acting like I'm saying something against his clothes. Keep in mind that every piece of clothing that he wears has been purchased by me.
I'm
so
not
the
saying
skinny trousers, it was just like, babes, we're going to start transitioning you off the skinny trousers because you're nearly 40. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying she just tends to use that mechanism to remind me that I'm nearly 40.
Which is still young.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with nearly 40, but I'm only 37.
Yeah.
So I'm nearly 38. But bless you, like you're nearly 40, you can't wear those trousers like you used to wear them anymore when you were.
It's just because it's, when you, if you're UK...
It's a bit revealing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I didn't know until she showed me that, look at your trousers. And tell me what you see. I was like, oh snap, it's true. It's true.
It was...
Why? What? Sorry, quick digression.
People and I bought it, so...
Why are skinny trousers even appropriate then, if that's what it's revealing to people? Is that the
for men?
purpose?
For men, you say?
Yeah.
Some people would question that skinny altogether is not appropriate. Some people will question that, will say that even leggings for women. Some people say that. It is what it is. It's just clothes.
It's true.
It's all about your heart.
It's true.
Your heart posture.
It's true.
You know, the skinny trousers is just that I got nothing against anybody wearing skinnies. I just personally am going to start transitioning my husband away.
Skinny trousers. I like the way
there's
they
nothing.
fit.
There's no. He loves them. That's the only reason why
I
I
like
had
the
to have
way
a
they fit in it.
Yeah, that's in it. Do you say?
I said in it.
Oh, okay. So it's just that I thought that you would. Okay, yeah.
That's
so
fine.
I love.
You just desire me. That's why. It's
So,
okay.
I will. You just
throwing her off because of the truth.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm the one who buys all the clothes. Mm-hmm. So in this house,
Director of Fashion and Style. Under contract.
That makes it
Do you
sound
remember
like
that contract?
Yeah.
Remember the contract?
So Mike, when we met, okay, you should tell the story because I feel like if I say it makes me sound like I'm like, when we met, he was acting all brand new, and then afterwards, but you can.
When we met, before we close, right? I thought I was a fashionista because I used to read GQ magazine. I was 19 years old. I didn't know very much of life. That's my excuse. However, my very fashionable from day dot wife came into my life and she's like,
I'm fashionable. And somebody who enjoys fashion, I guess.
You are fashionable. And, because you get dressed and people were like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. You are fashionable, right? So she was like, why are you wearing those shoes with those trousers? In fact, let me see the rest of your wardrobe.
That's literally... that was...
And it was a campaign. There was some pieces that I had that were very questionable, that didn't fit very well. And I've always had this vision of my clothes fitting, and I thought they fit, but they didn't fit.
It's so funny because it was like, in fact,
let me see everything that's in this wardrobe of yours because you claim to be this fashionista type of guy because you read GQ. Ooh.
He actually collected GQ and Vogue at the time.
Do you know, 17 years on, those would be vintage magazines. I'm just letting you know.
I actually made him
they'll
throw
be
away.
worth something to the British Museum. I'm just saying. I'm so bitter from it, clearly.
He kept saying, these are going to be worth something.
They'll be vintage.
Like,
it's been 17 years.
Don't hold them, throw them away.
17 years. The British Museum will bite my hand off for them because they're not even in print anymore. Anyways, digression. And so Blessing was suggesting some things that, at first I wasn't very, because I was used to my own way of doing things. But then my eyes were open. Actually, I kind of look good. And people were saying it looked good. I'm like, that's it. From now on, you're going to be my director of style for the rest of my life. And just so you don't try and say, I've had enough of this. Here's a contract I've drawn up because I used to study law at the time. I used to have to draw off the contract.
We both did, so.
Yes, Blessing did as well. So she saw that the contract was somewhat solid. I said, sign this.
Made under duress, by the way. So this technically not really.
Don't try it. You were happy to sign. You're like, great, because I don't want my man looking like someone's.
Respectfully, a lot of the clothes, when he showed it to me, I just packed them up, put it in a black bag, gave them to charity.
They got dashed, but we bought new clothes afterwards. It was okay. It's okay.
They got dashed. We gave them to charity.
They were dashed to charity.
It was a dash given.
they were thrown to charity.
You want to see it that way? We gave them to charity. Somebody who
donated.
Somebody who they would fit correctly, because he was when I met him, he was very, very skinny. I'd say that he was a 28 waist.
I was a 32 max.
He was definitely not. So when...
Actually, no, I lied. I was more for 30.
He was a 28. So the trousers that he bought were 32 or 34.
That was my waist.
And he would have to wear... It was not. And then he had to wear maybe like some joggers to fill it out because he knew.
I never wore joggers. That's so.
You
That's not
definitely
true. I wore long johns.
You wore joggers, thick trousers under the trousers.
You can't wear thick trousers under trousers that are
That's
really
what
slim.
you did. You did because they were not
And
slim.
the one when the trousers
They were
on.
baggy.
And the one when
They
the
were
trousers
baggy.
on. And the one when the shokoto.
They were baggy clothes that were not his size, and he was a very slim person when I met him. In fact, I made it my personal mission to make sure that he had a bit of meat on his bones because it just was.
He wanted to be a true 32.
He at least bare minimum. Just gain something. So I'm not being sizist or anything, but he needed.
I needed a burger.
He needed a burger.
I ate a lot of burgers. I just had a fast metabolism.
Yeah, so I slowed it down.
She craves with her chest. As wife, it was my duty, my honor
to slow it down 100%. But yeah,
now it's back, but nonetheless,
it is well. But yeah, gave all of his pieces.
We donated it to
charity.
There we go.
So somebody out there would love those long shoes. And
I really like those shoes.
And the trousers, yeah. So then we.
Do you remember my corduroys? The one that she loved. I had these brown corduroys that she absolutely adored, but I had to let go.
I don't have anything wrong with cords. I'm in fact wearing cords right now.
Those particular ones she had a major issue with.
They were just really. I understood. Like I was like, okay, so what I'm gathering from you is you like grandpa chic. So I'm going to meet you in the middle because that's what his style was, but it was off. If you were trying to do grandpa chic, because my brother dresses like a more grandpa chic, but my brother does it very well.
Do you know why? Because she styled him. And I saw that and I was like, at least as your husband, I can get that for the rest of my life. So sign this contract. Sign it.
My brother has now established his own style, but I did start it off. He
had a good foundation.
But with so
you signed the contract.
He made me sign the contract.
Sign it.
He made me sign it.
Show the people how you did it.
It was a paper contract, by the way, not iPad contract.
There was no iPad.
And I literally had to sign it.
Great.
And
it's somewhere upstairs. I've kept that paper somewhere, or I may have not. I don't know. But God witnessed it. So she can't ever say, "Oh, you should style yourself." I just try to do sometimes. And I'd be like, "Nope, you're under contract."
I was like, that contract can't be 17 years.
Looks like I'm sitting here with no clothes. Looks like I'm about to go outside of my boxes to your detriment.
Oh my goodness. That's literally what I deal with, guys. But it is well.
It is well. And it was well.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, but Grandpa Chic, you explained to the people.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. So his style was attempting to do Grandpa Chic, but just so terribly wrong.
I wasn't even aiming to be Grandpa. I just wanted to look like the guys in GQ magazine. And I saw some corduroys. I was like, oh, yeah. But in hindsight, theirs were more carrot cut corduroys.
They weren't even carrot cut.
The ones I saw in the magazine were carrot cut. The ones I had, they weren't carrot cut. They're very straight.
Yeah. And then they're straight, and then they're straight. And his ones were just, I don't know. But yeah, we thank God for growth.
Got donated to charity.
Yeah.
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 So then I started walking around university looking fly. Everyone was like, oh, are you wearing the skinny jeans? Yes, I am.
I actually bought you carrot cuts at the time because skinny jeans, you were
those
too
blue
skinny.
Corduroys.
Oh yeah, they were skinnies. Yeah, they were
those
skinnies.
blue those skinnies.
Because he really wanted. He was like, oh, can you please replace? Can you please make sure that you get some cords because I really want. I was like, oh.
You don't understand. I was living the dream here. I've always wanted a stylist, and I had a wife who was my everything. And stylist was one of them things that she was part of the everything package. I was like, great, wonderful. This is what I want to look like. GQ magazine, this page. So she consulted me and said, yes, you could look like this, but you're too skinny to look like this.
Was it actually a consultation? It did actually.
It was
like a consultation.
She's like, I see what you're trying to do it for, but you're too skinny for that. But you can do this instead.
You need to gain some weight before you can
get some weight. In fact, all of these looks are decent, but you need to gain weight. So let's work on that first.
Mm-hmm. And trust me, I'd cook.
It was a campaign.
I'd cook beans and I'd give him literally a mountain.
It took me a whole day to eat one day. I was like, I can't even eat this. I could eat, but this was a lot.
That was so... No, that day. It's okay, take your time.
We'll take a break for a couple hours. She'll warm me back up again. She wants some more bread for that, to eat with those beans. You know, Nigerian beans. Bruv. Anyways, then people start saying, bro, you put on weight, you know. They're blessed with a smug. That's that very face.
Very proud, very proud.
Very proud.
Very proud.
Find good wife. Find good wife. Everything will be fine. All will be well.
It is well. All is well.
I don't know how we got to this point, but
yeah, guys, we need to go.
we need to go. This is how you know we need to go, because now we're just talking.
We're just talking. We need to go. We need to go.
All right.
So, guys, remember to love the Lord with all your heart, all your might, all your soul, and lean not on your own understanding.
That's right.
And remember to
behave yourself.
Thank you, guys. Bye.